This is American Silver Eagle, start to finish. A look at every ASE bullion coin from 1986 to 2021. Plus, a giveaway where you can win this actual 1986 American Silver Eagle or this 2021. I'm giving away both. T. Hello, silver fans. This is T, and you're in the place to be for silver education, acquisition, and entertainment. In today's episode, I will show you an American Silver Eagle from every year, 1986 to 2021, from my collection. And I will explain the giveaway rules for these two right here. This is my way of saying thanks as I make my push to 500 subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting me and getting my channel off the ground. Creating this YouTube channel has been a blast, and thank you for being a part of it. But before we get to all that stuff, this is the point in the video where I ask you to like and subscribe. And I also encourage you to comment. And I normally don't remind you to hit the notification button, but if you want to give yourself the best chance of winning these two Eagles, that would be a really good idea. Before we really get started, let's talk just a little bit about the American Silver Eagle, especially for the benefit of the new stackers in our community. The ASE, as it's commonly referred to, was approved by Congress in 1985. The first ASEs minted rolled out of the mint in November of 1986. They are 99.9% silver, and they are loved by stackers and collectors alike. The obverse is based on the Walking Liberty half dollar. The reverse was designed by John Mercanti. Now, as you can see by these two examples here, the 86 and the 2021, they've had the same basic design throughout all of these years. This year, 2021, will feature a new reverse. This will be Type 2 coming sometime this year in 2021. Hey, those of you who've been watching my channel for a while know that I'm not just a pure stacker, nor am I a pure collector. I'm something in between. I am a stack collector. I stack primarily, but I do have a bit of a collecting streak. So for me, just putting a pile of ASEs together wasn't good enough. I had to collect one of each year. So that's what I'm about to show you. I have to tell you, it was a fun challenge putting this entire collection together. But first, let me give you a heads up about that GAW. Throughout this entire video, I will sprinkle the rules to the GAW. So stay tuned for the entire thing, and you'll learn every one of the rules for this big GAW that I mentioned earlier. 1986. It was a good year. Old T had baseball, basketball, football, and girls on his mind, not necessarily in that order. Ronald Reagan was the president. Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champ, and my Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl. Spot price of silver at that time in 1986 was about $5.70. Here's a spot price chart for you to see. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the American Silver Eagle that started it all off in November of 1986. Here's the 87. You may notice that compared to today's ASEs, the older ones have a particular shine that the newer ones do not possess. I paid $21 for this ASE on January 25th, 2020. As I was building this collection, I did keep a spreadsheet. Here's 88. Look at that shine. $1989. Hey, that's the very first year Seinfeld came out. And that brings us to rule number 1 of the GAW. You must be a subscriber to T and my channel. Pretty simple, huh? There is one little catch, though. Your subscription has to be a public subscription. That way I know, indeed, you are a subscriber to my channel. 1990. Here's 91. A great year for Bulls fans back in the day. 91 was the beginning of our decade-long dominance in the NBA. We won our first championship in 91. 92. Mintage of 5.5 million. Here's a 93. I think I put this in this little holder just because I like that toning. Some of you out there enjoy the toners, others do not. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like preserving this tone, or are you one of those type of guys that would clean it? Here's 94. There were some pretty low mintages in the 90s. $1995. Here she is. The key date, 1996. Got some tone to it. And this is one of those coins that will never leave my stack, ever. This one has an interesting story. You see it has a name on it. Busha, that means grandma in Polish, and that's what my daughters call my mom. Now, one of the reasons that this ASE is special is not just that my mother gave it to me, but it's how she acquired it. Back in the 90s, she was a cashier at a gas station, and someone came in and paid for their item with this for $1 face. So I don't know if they bought a pack of cigarettes or used it for gas or what, but Busha quickly traded it with a dollar bill she had and brought it home to yours truly. This one, and the reason I put Busha on here is because when I pass this one down to my kids, they'll know where it came from. And 97. Now, 96 has the lowest mintage of 3.6 million, so that makes it the key date. But I want to encourage you to not to sleep on these other 90s. The 97 only has 4.3 million minted. And here is 1998. I got this one at a coin shop. And I paid, since it's not a perfect example of a proof, it's got its flaws, I think I paid like $2 more than I would have for just a normal bullion grade ASE, but pretty cool nonetheless. And rounding out the decade when we thought the world was going to come to an end, in 1999, here is the 99. This brings us to GAW rule number 2. And it's pretty simple. All you have to do is watch and comment on my March videos. All March videos will be qualifiers for the GAW. That's why I mentioned earlier, set that alert. You see my videos come up. Be sure to watch, give them a like, and make a comment. Your comment is your ticket into the GAW. Make sense? I hope so. Here's 2000. We made it past 1999, into 2000, and the mint kept churning out American Silver Eagles. Here's 01, and this was pretty interesting. As I was doing my research, as I always do, to create my videos, I was looking up the internet. When did the internet start, and when did it become mainstream? Well, the internet reached about 50% of American households in 2001. So by some parameters, that's when internet became mainstream back in 2001, after about half of Americans got the internet. Can you imagine? Only 20 years ago. What in the world did we do without it? No eBay. Many of you probably ordered your coins through magazines, and the LCSs all flourished because they were practically the only game in town if you wanted to acquire coins and bullion and everything else that they sell. 2001 was also a year that none of us over a certain age will ever forget. Okay, on to 2002. The country was still reeling from September 11th. And here is 2003. And here is 2004. '05's developing a little toning here. And '06 is a little bit of a special one. I acquired this one at the Bureau of Engraving. I was in Washington, D.C., took a tour of the Bureau, saw how paper currency, commonly called fiat by us YouTube stackers, is produced. And wow, quite a thing to behold, to see all those stacks of $100 bill after $100 bill, just stacks and stacks and stacks, churning out for the American public. But they do have a gift shop at the end of your tour, and that's where I acquired this one. And in case you're wondering, I paid $27.95 for that back in '06. And here is '07. Most of my ASEs are regular bullion grade. Now, after 2007, I have to tell you, something happened. Take a close look at these mintage years here. From '07, the mintage was 9 million to, in '08, the mintage jumped all the way up to 20,600,000. So it doubled from '07 to '08. If you remember, if you're old enough to remember back then, that was the start of what is now called the Great Recession, a global recession. When Congress approved the American Silver Eagle, it was with the caveat that they would be produced at a rate to meet the demands of the public. The public was hungry for these ASEs to store their wealth in the form of silver bullion. That silver spot price, also take a look here at the silver spot price chart. Look what's happening. And on to 2009, where the mintage went all the way up to 30 million. Now, this brings us to GAW rule number 3. As you comment on my March videos, please keep in mind that one random March video will be picked. All March videos are fair game, so be sure to watch and comment. Commenting on each video is your ticket, your chance to win. And at this point in time, I don't know if I'll produce 8 March videos, 9, 11, 6, who knows? Whatever March videos I produce, be sure to watch and comment. On to 2010, where we have a mintage of 34.8 mil. And 2011, we hit 40 million mintage. Take a look at the spot price chart and look what silver was doing in 2011. You know, from that recession that started in '08, and looking historically, you had so many years where the spot price was just low, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom, it blew up. So some people speculate that that might happen again. I'm not sure, but historically speaking, you can look back and see that it did happen back in 2011. On to 2012. This is the first ever graded coin that I ever purchased. I purchased it on eBay, and my thought was this. I had always kind of wanted a slabbed coin, a graded coin, and I saw this on eBay. I picked it up on July 8th, 2019 for a price of $23.50. And spot was, I think, in the teens at that time. And so I picked this up so I would have my first ever graded coin. And as I was making this purchase, I was feeling comfortable that on eBay I would get an authentic coin since it was graded. Okay, here is 2013. And I did do some record keeping, as I mentioned earlier, as I was making my purchases, putting this collection together. I noticed as I was looking at that this morning that I paid $20 for this 2013, which was $2 over spot at the time. I purchased it on January 22nd, 2020, about 7 weeks before the whole world went crazy. And again, I paid $20 for this, and spot at the time was about 18. Well, we're making our way through the decades. Here is the 2014. And 2015. And it should be noted here, the mintage at this point by 2015 was up to 47 million. The mint was churning out. So, wow. And here is 2016. Not exactly sure why I bought this in this little APMEX holder at the time. But more importantly than this 2016 in an APMEX holder is the fact that in 2016, the Chicago Cubs won their first World Series in 108 years. Yes. And here's 2017. And also considering that mintage went from 37.7 mil in 2016 to less than half that in 2017. So evidently the demand wasn't quite there from year to year. Brings us to 2018. And 2019. Okay, GAW alert, rule number 4. 2 winners will receive the prizes of the 86 and 2021 American Silver Eagle. Here they are. I am going to give one of these away to 2 lucky subscribers. Start to finish. 86 to 2021. Now, when it comes to the 2020, perhaps somebody can help me in the comments. I could not find the mintage for the 2020 American Silver Eagle. So if anybody happens to know that mintage number, please let us know in the comments section. But either way, this is a 2020. And here you see this is the Philadelphia emergency issue. I picked this up for $55 just as a keepsake, a remembrance. of 2020. So this will be in my stack forever, reminding me of what a crazy wild year 2020 was. And on to the 2021s. As you could see here, I've shown these off in another video, and we'll see how many I collect here and start filling up this tube right there. In some ways, I'm kind of looking forward to that Type 2. As much as I appreciate this reverse of the heraldic eagle, I kind of look forward to something new. Not that I'm overly thrilled about the new design, but something new makes things a little more interesting. So let's see what this Type 2 looks like. We've all seen the artwork. It's kind of meh, but maybe with the enhanced features and actually seeing the coin in front of us, we'll all think a little differently of it. So in summary, I always ask a question at the end of my videos, and you've seen how I've collected year by year. And hey, does anybody else do that? If you do, let me know. And what is your game plan for the Type 2? Do you think I should jump on that pre-sale for the Type 2? Kind of wait a little while since that's going to be the new design going forward? I don't know. You let me know what you think. Either way, thanks for watching. Good luck on the GAW. And stick around for more videos and my subscription button, which you can find right here on my end screen. T.